Talk of the day, unpopular opinion. Where the opinion may be unpopular, but the conversation is necessary. I'm your host, Uncle KG. I want to thank you for joining me today. Today, the cigar of the day is Jaime Garcia by My Father Cigars. It's a great cigar here. Now, in this episode of Talk, the topic is going to be right message, wrong sender. Right message, wrong sender. Now, I chose this topic because many of us think that because we are ahead of somebody as far as seniority or as far as age, as far as capabilities, as far as levels of accomplishments or achievements, many of us think that we are qualified or have the right to tell somebody else how to be, how to behave, how to conduct themselves, how to carry themselves, or to even enforce a level of rules and regulations. Now, you can enforce rules and regulations because those are the rules and regulations. However, you cannot do that and be a hypocrite. You are enforcing rules and regulations that you don't follow yourself. And you wondering why the people that's coming up after you don't tend to follow the same rules and regulations. You wonder why they're not receiving your message. The message may be correct, but you're the wrong sender. You're not qualified to tell somebody what the rules and regulations are because you operate under a whole different code. You have a do as I say, not as I do type of mentality. But the best way to teach, the best way to coach is to lead by example. That's the best way. The proof is in the pudding. That is the best way, is to lead by example, because people are not going to just go off of what you say. They're going to go off of what they see you do. So ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you leading by example? Are you leading by example? Or are you just running your mouth? You can't operate under a different scope and tell somebody else how to be and how to behave when you don't have that same code of ethics. It's clear as day you doing what you want to do, but you have the audacity to tell somebody else, well, I can do this, but you can't do this. And I don't mean far as a level of a certain position where, okay, I don't have to do this anymore. But when I was in that position, I did carry myself this way. I did do it this way. Therefore, I can speak on that. And even in the position that I'm in now, I still carry myself with a level of respect, some morale, a level of principle and integrity. So, when you get to this level, how to operate in that capacity. But many of us don't do that. We sit back and we want to tell somebody, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. Make sure you do blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, you doing something totally different. You can't just tell somebody what to do and how to be and not live under that same pedigree. It doesn't make sense. I don't care how right you might be in your message. If you don't carry yourself a certain way, if you don't live a certain way, it's going to fall on deaf ears. How you going to tell me something you're not even doing it? Think about that. How you going to tell somebody something and you're not even doing it? No, I can tell you, but I'm going to also show you. I'm going to lead the way. I'm going to lead by example. That makes absolutely no sense. But we think that we can just have the right to tell somebody how to be and how to conduct themselves just for the sake of doing it, because they are not where we are yet. And the problem is we've been getting away with it for so long. People have been getting away with not following a set of rules and regulations. And now when they get in certain positions, they want to enforce them same rules and regulations that they broke. You've been getting away with it due to your race, your religion, your sexual orientation, who you know, what secrets you may know about other people. So you've been skating through your whole entire time. But you want to go ahead and try to tell this person, yeah, I can do this, but you can't do this. When I see you or when you in this environment, this is how you supposed to be. This is how you supposed to do things. You got to lead by example. You can't tell somebody how to be when you are not that and never been that yourself. You don't even know what it's like to even be what you're trying to tell them they should be. You don't even know what it's like to be in them shoes. Because you done had the easy way out. You took a whole escape route. You've been breaking these rules and regulations your whole entire life. You've been getting special treatment your whole entire life. But you want to sit up here and act like, you know what, because I said it, that's the way it should be. So make sure you do this, and this. No, you have to lead by example, man. You got to. The nerve. The nerve of some of you to sit up here and just think that you have the right, the audacity to enforce rules and regulations on somebody. And you never follow any of those yourself. You want to tell somebody to show up to work on time. You want to tell somebody to look professional. You want to tell somebody how to do a certain job or do this or do that. But you never follow none of that stuff that you preaching. You ain't practiced none of the stuff that you preaching. Not now, not ever. So I ask you, how can you preach when you haven't practiced? How can you preach what you have not practiced? You don't know what it's like. You have no idea. You don't know how hard it is for this person to go ahead and practice the things that you're preaching because you never practice them yourself. See, I can tell you this because I've been there. I can tell you this because I know how it is. I can tell you this because I've experienced the same thing. But if I have not, how can I tell you anything? Who am I? That's a lot of nerve, man. That's a lot of nerve. And then you got to ask yourself, why weren't you following the rules and regulations that you're now trying to enforce? Why weren't you practicing the things that you are now preaching? Is it because you got away with it? Because you didn't care? Because you was moving to the beat of your own drum? Think about that. And it ain't nothing worse than a hypocrite. You're an actor at this point. You're portraying yourself to be a certain way or telling somebody else to be a certain way when you don't even believe in that. You don't even believe in that. You're going to tell somebody else something because it sounds good. That makes no sense, man. So, if you're not qualified to speak on certain things, if you haven't experienced certain things, shut up, man. Shut up. And let the right person that's qualified, that has that level of experience or expertise, speak on it. Now, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. But with that opinion, you got to give a disclaimer. You know what? I didn't do this. I haven't done that. I haven't been through this. I haven't experienced that. Only thing I can think of is if I was in that position, if I had to go through that, this is what I think I would do. But some of y'all speak with so much conviction, like you know what it's like to be here. You know what it's like to go through this. You know what it's like to have to abide by these set of rules and regulations. You have no idea. And you was a headache for somebody else. Ask yourself this question. What's going to happen when you got to deal with a you? When you meet somebody just like you, the rules and regulations that you're trying to enforce are not being followed. The things that you are preaching are not being practiced. Do you think you could deal with a you? Can you deal with yourself? Think about the headache that you have been for everybody else. It's going to all one day come back in a full circle. And then that's when you realize that now you're in a parallel universe. Because it ain't going to matter what you say, how you say it. That person going to be moving to the beat of their own drum. Karma's something else. Karma's the only person that pay on time every time. So be careful. Be careful. Because your day is coming, man. Your day is coming. So if you're going to preach it, practice it. Live by it. Lead by example. Don't just tell them, show them. But if you're not going to do that, it's probably best to keep your mouth closed, man. Because somebody like me, Uncle KG, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to let you have it. And that's just what it is. That's all I got for y'all today, man. It's Talk of the Day, unpopular opinion. Well, the opinion may be unpopular, but the conversation is necessary. I'm your host, Uncle KG. I want to thank you for joining me. Till next time. Peace.